Hello, my name is Hannah Johnson, and I'm going to be talking to you about Evidence-Based Practices Section 2.4, which is prompts and pre-corrections. Starting with the key strategies, reminders need to be provided before a behavior is expected, and it needs to describe what is expected of the student. This means it needs to be preventative, and it should also be understandable. What you're saying to the student needs to be in words that they can understand. It also needs to be observable, which means the student must be able to distinguish when the prompt is present, and it should be specific and explicit. This means you need to describe the expected behavior and link the appropriate expectation. Some elementary examples of this include before students begin seat work, you can provide a reminder about how to access help and materials if they are needed. Or before the class transitions into something else, a teacher can state, remember to show respect during a transition by staying to the right and allowing personal space. Or a teacher can point to a table as a student enters the room, and that is reminding them where to sit instead of letting them struggle and try to figure out where they're supposed to be. Secondary examples of this include pointing to a sign on the board to show your expectation of a silent noise level prior to beginning independent work, not during independent work, but prior. You can review a group activity participation rubric prior to the start of the group work. You can also have students check their planner, which will include prompts to write down their work and bring the correct materials home to promote homework completion. Non-examples of prompts and pre-corrections include error corrections, which means you are waiting for the student to behave incorrectly and you're correcting them then instead of telling them before you do something what your expectation is. So, for example, if you're having students walk in the hallway, you want to tell them before you get into the hallway, you must stay in a line and stay behind the teacher and use walking feet. If you exit the classroom, people start running, and you say, hey, we're using walking feet, you're correcting the error, but it's better if you can prompt them beforehand. Also, if you're using non-specific corrections, like, hey, don't do that, that's not helpful, you want to address the child by name and explain to them what you are wanting them not to do, what your expectation is. You don't just want to say, we want to behave in the hallway. You need to be specific about your expectation. Also, providing only the no's, meaning you're saying no running, no talking, instead of describing the behavior you want to happen. So instead of no running and no talking, you can say, remember, in the hallway, we use our walking feet and we keep our voices off. That way you are telling them what they are supposed to do and not what they're not supposed to do.